Let me see. Hey everybody, what's going on? Listen, y'all, I was in this bit. If you was on my Instagram live, girl, you heard I was in this bit. Okay, look, grooving and vibing real quick. Let me clear my throat. Cause you done been good, but you can do better. Listen, I done been wet, but I can get it wet. Listen, I'm hoarse. Y'all, I'm still hoarse from this weekend. I'm trying not to be sick. So if y'all don't know, girl, hold up. Hold up. Let me get this together. Let me get the notes together. Girl, I was in a parade this weekend. Yes, girl. It's Mardi Gras in New Orleans if you're not from down here. Okay, it's Mardi Gras, and I actually participated in a whole parade. Oh, all right, what's going on? All right, what's going on? Listen, Erica, the never in the house. Look, Niecy in the house. What's going on? Okay, listen, y'all know I be bucked up when I see y'all. What's going on, people? I'm so happy y'all here. So as I'm waiting for y'all to come into the room and making sure I got graphics and shit, cause I just hopped on here like, like boom, okay, just forgot I had to get graphics and stuff. But girl, let me tell you, I was in a parade this weekend, right? Y'all gotta go follow me on Instagram so you can see. Oh, well, I posted it on here too. I posted it in my in a short, the reels and stuff. Listen, girl, first of all, we performed and the performance was fun. The performance was so fun. I ended up having to lead the second performance. I'm mad that I don't have any video of that. I'm sure I messed it up because it was a whole situation with which way we were supposed to go, girl. But listen, all I know is I was a warrior woman and I was in the energy of a warrior woman. So if I messed up the choreography, then I was going to still be like crazy. Listen, let me tell y'all what happened. So we on a parade route, right? It's rainy and cold and windy. It was just the worst. Okay, but I had that Tennessee honey Jack Daniels. Okay, I had that in the bag, and it helped. It aided in the process. Okay, so I ended up slipping on some beads, which is a common occurrence. I'm sure I was not the only one. I saw my girl Kayla, shout out to Kayla, who was directly behind me. Okay, Kayla had slipped at one point and I saw she was okay. I was like, all right. But when I slipped, I went and it started popping. And then I jumped back into the choreography. Let me tell y'all something. Okay, it was cold. I was like, I have never in my life had rain, sweat, and snot just all over the place. Then I had like we were supposed to have these arm wraps, but the arm wraps kept coming off. So eventually I had my arm wrap just tied around my hand and I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like wiping my nose with it, but real, you know what I'm saying? Like just with a lot of energy. It was so fun. And I was lit the whole parade. So if I got the choreography right at any point, I'm proud of myself. I was on the front line. Okay, shout out to Vincent. I don't know how Vincent popped up in two different spots on the route, but shout out to Vincent. He was like, I'm seeing y'all again. Listen, shout out to everybody who I saw out there. Shout out to Badney. Everybody I saw out there on the on the route. I appreciate y'all, you know what I'm saying, for yelling out my name and all of that. Like it was so energy. Child, it was crazy. Even like all people like, y'all look beautiful, ladies. Like, it was just really great. Even though the weather was nasty, it's like the people that are out there are so appreciative that you're even there out in that weather. So yeah, I had so much fun doing everything. And I don't know if y'all know, but a bitch body was bodying. A bitch body was bodying. And okay, so the parade, y'all couldn't see in the parade because we had to be covered up because it was cold. I wasn't about to be out there, naked in that weather. But the performance night, we was just, all in our costumes. And baby, my body was bodying. I was like, it's giving warrior. That's what it's giving. That's what it's given. It was abs. You know what I'm saying? It was arms, bitch. It was given. I was just like, yes. All my hard work. All my hard work, girl. Look at you. You know what I'm saying? It was a good time had by all. I can't wait to do another performance. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I forgot how much I like dancing. Shout out to my mom And I talked about it on Instagram before we get into Ready to Love, because I know y'all are here for the shows, but you know, a little bit of in my life, a little bit before we get into it, because you know, I thought y'all fuck with me like that. Um, I used to be on on a dance team that was outside of school because I could never get on the dance teams in school for some reason. But you know, I got on, got into a dance team outside of school, and we used to, do shows and recitals and shit like that. But I just like practicing. I like dancing. I like the structure of it. I like performances. Like I like doing that type of stuff. So, and I did that in dance. I did that in theater. I did a lot of plays when I was in high school. We did a lot of talent shows back in the day. Like before my dad died, I was in the studio a lot. So I used to, singing and writing and all kind of stuff. Like I was doing a lot of shit when I was younger. Like I would dabble in any type of art form that I could express myself when I was younger. And after my dad died and Katrina, it's just like that just kind of got squeezed out of me more and more until I started doing YouTube, and YouTube kind of became my artistic outlet. And now that I have the time and YouTube is affording me the ability to somewhat remain living, in my standard of living child, somewhat. I say that, so I say that again, somewhat. Somewhat. You know, it pays most of the bills at the end of the day. So I can, now I can go and be a part of Mardi Gras, and I can do these performances and, all of this type of stuff. And I really enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Like I really, really, really enjoy it. And so I hope there are more performances to come, and ones that I can invite you guys out to, and that we'll actually have video of for me to post. So, a girl just been living her best life this past week, even though the weather been nasty and all of that. Just trying to. It was a tough week, y'all, but at the end of it, I'm very happy with it, child. I was even happy to be laid up with Lyric last night, watching the Super Bowl on a thing, on a projector in the backyard, to finally be laid up somewhere instead of out and about. Even though Child Sunday was a hoot. If y'all saw our Galentine's Day little event, that was fun too. So I posted that too on my stories. But yeah, y'all follow me on Instagram too. And while we talking about following me on other platforms, because Anthony Lofty's, hey, shout out to Anthony Lofty's, hey boo. He said that some of the YouTubers are having issues with their channels being demonetized and things of this nature. And we're praying that doesn't happen to me, because y'all have all, they already took my channel from me once. Which is why I have my own website, BondyBlueShow.com. All my content is on there as well. So if you would not mind becoming a member of my website, you don't have to pay to be a member. There's a free section where you get all of the stuff that is on YouTube as well. But just in case, because if that ever happens, then all of my content will then be paid. I'm just letting y'all know. I don't have time for this. This is a business. We all do this for a living in one respect or another. We rely on these checks, and this is something that, you just can't be playing around with like that. And YouTube can sometimes have a tendency to play around with people's livelihoods, and it's just really unfair. But because it's like a newer way of making money, a newer career form with the internet and all of that type of stuff, all of this shit is within the last 20 years. So we're all doing stuff that's outside of the norm, but ultimately it's a way of making a living. People want the content, people want to come and see you. You know what I'm saying? It needs to make sense for us at the end of the day. So I am advocating for all my other YouTubers. Y'all have to get y'all own platforms as well. Y'all have to be on several different platforms. Y'all have to get y'all money from several different ways, even though YouTube is the best way for most of us. We make bulk of our money here on YouTube, and everybody wants to continue to do that. But it just seems as if there's something always working against us. And it can be extremely disheartening, especially when you have been doing this as long as I have been doing this. And I've been doing this since 2011. You know what I'm saying? And I love this platform, but it has to make sense. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us deserve to be treated way better than we are treated on these platforms. So I just wanted to take the time to say that, and to, tell everybody, make sure that you become even a free member of BondyBlueShow.com, so that you are always, connected to me. Because, they did snatch me. They took me down, okay? And y'all couldn't find me, okay? So, yes, okay? Shout out to all my other content creators that are in the room. Okay, y'all don't know this is not an easy thing. You don't just get up here and run it. Like, you really prepare for this shit. The graphics, the money you put into the content, the all of the equipment, you know what I'm saying, over the years, new computers and paying for programs to be on live with. Ecamm costs money, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Hundreds of dollars. Like, this shit is not something you get up here and do for free. I just paid to do a podcast. I still have to edit and put up for you guys, but like, you know, this is an art form. This is work, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like ultimately people should be paid and, you know, respected for the content that they put up. So, you know, shout out to everybody. I appreciate all my members. Know that, like, I love y'all. I am always amazed and astounded at the fact that I am always taken care of, because people really, you know, really fuck with me, and it means a lot. I want y'all to know that. Like, at the end of the day, you know, the fact that y'all enjoy my content and y'all feel that I am worthy for y'all dollar, I appreciate y'all so much. Know that. All right. So now that I have said that and low-key got emotional about it, let's go ahead and get into Ready to Love, okay? Because I have some opinions, but we're not going to go blow by blow because this show does too much for me. Okay, Mercedes, cute little petite one, but there's something behind the cuteness. There's something there that we have not seen yet. I'm waiting for it. There's a sharpness that Mercedes has that I feel like we're teetering on the corners. But she friend zoned Lyndon. Okay, I appreciate the curtness. Let's get it on out there. We don't want him to be our boyfriend. He's just a friend moving along. Sue and Blake talk. Y'all, Sue and Blake are the pick me and the insecure projecting as secure man. They both have superiority complexes where they feel like they have to act as if they are superior to other people in order for them to feel good about themselves. Both Blake and Suann do that to the other men and the other women. So in that way, I feel like they are probably made for each other. So I do feel like there is some real attraction happening there, but I also feel like it's rooted in toxicity, and we'll see it. But either way, thank you for the super sticker, Black Regina George. Pair character doing a shake a sign with his hand saying cool. That is hilarious the way it spells it out. Thank you. It's so hilarious the way they spell that out on here. Anyway, thank you. I appreciate y'all. Blake says he's not guarded with Sue. I'm like, yeah, you're not guarded with Sue because Sue is giving I'll say and do anything to please you, master. You know, I'll say and be anything you want me to be, master, is what Sue is giving, which is why you feel that way. Okay, y'all, is my sound good? Like, I just want to make sure I'm not overmodulated, but I'm also like, you know, not too low. So y'all let me know, make sure that things are sounding good and stuff. Okay, thank you. All right, so they were talking. Blake brings up that the other guys say when they go on dates with Suann, she talks and talks and talks, but with him, not as much. And I was like, so she didn't pick up that he put her on defense the way the other women say that he does? The other women already said that whenever they had interactions with Blake, it was like he put them on the defense. And in this interaction, he did the exact same thing to her. She's just ignoring it. Like, that's what's so, like, annoying to me about Suann is that everything, excuse me, that Jeffrey and the other women are saying about Blake will actually perform what they're talking about with Suann. And she's just like, oh my God, he's just, oh my God. You know, and I'm just like, okay, girl, okay, you want a man that bad, we're going to leave you alone about it, okay? Blake brings up that the other, like I said, that okay, yeah, he put her on defense. She asked about, she's like, what about your other connections? She caught it, but she let it fly is what I mean. He says he didn't want to be misleading. And I'm like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Does that not sound like the same shit he said to Jeffrey? Like, that he didn't want to seem as if he was playing games? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. She says he's using big words, but he either likes her or she likes him. And so then she sits on his lap and she kisses him. And it seemed as if he wanted the kiss, but it also seemed as if she had to be aggressive and make the step in order for that to happen. And I feel like He's choosing her because she's choosing him. Because he's too insecure to go after a woman that he may be more interested in for fear that she's not as interested in him. So he's waiting for the woman that's going to chase him. And Sue-Ann shows up as the woman that is going to chase him. She got out of her seat to sit into his lap. And then she kissed him. Like, she had to be aggressive in order for him to see it for her. And now that he sees it for her, he's expecting her to choose to really be with only him. Like, you can see already that they've now decided to couple, because she says she has a boyfriend now in the confessional just because they kissed one time. And he says they have a joint journey. So let's talk about the joint journey. And when he said, let's talk about the joint journey, that sounded to me like, okay, so let's talk about how you're going to act accordingly now that my mouth has touched your mouth, and you're not going to do anything to make me feel, insecure, or like I have to compete for you now that I've kissed you, right? That's what that feels like. And I just kind of feel like, are we in like elementary school or something? Like, are we children? Why do you feel like just because you kiss a woman, now we go together? And likewise for Sue-Ann. Sue-Ann, you're an adult, grown-ass woman. You're an attorney. And y'all say these things like they're funny, but you actually mean them. You actually feel like because you had one physical interaction with a man, that now means y'all go together. And I thought, like, as a society in 2023, we had grown out of doing that, rushing into situations with people we don't know. Okay, first of all, expecting way too much too soon, not letting things have like a natural progression, instead rushing into them just for fear of being left alone or being rejected by other people. Like, I really want everybody to get out of this space of like fear of rejection. And I'm saying that for myself too. Like, everybody needs to get out of this fear of rejection, okay? Because essentially what is for you, but you can't like go through your life being scared to take the plunge because you're going to get rejected. Like, it just seems like a boring life to me. Essentially, yes, you can be rejected. You'll feel like the initial plummet, and then you'll balance back up to the top, bitch. You'll dive into the water and you'll float back up to the top, okay? And either we're going to start swimming and we're good, or we're just going to, we're just going to swim and it didn't go so good. But we're still swimming, bitch. We're not going to die, okay? Whether you get rejected or you don't get rejected, you'll be okay, okay? Builds character. Makes you realize that everybody is not for you, and that is okay. And there are some people that you don't even need to have any interactions with, because who knows what could happen from those interactions. Like, a lot of people aren't good at picking out volatile energy in other people, and y'all just go and, kiss people and get into these little relationships out of nowhere and don't realize that this is an unsafe person that you've now decided to link yourself to, and you haven't given yourself enough time to figure that out. Like, I'm just looking at Sue-Ann and women like her, like, y'all, this is what y'all do. I'm just saying, like, I don't trust men. I don't trust anybody, but specifically men who have been in the military, who have been police officers, who have been in security. I'm sorry, there is a detachment that has to happen in those men from their mind, from their hearts. There has to be a detachment. That's why he's always looking like this, because there's a detachment from head and heart as far as I'm concerned. He knows how to look and seem as if he is emotional. But if you ask me, there is something disconnected in Blake. And I feel like Sue-Ann is going to probably spend a lot of time feeding into trying to connect it, and it's not going to connect. And she's just going to keep feeding into it and keep feeding into it until he zonked her of all her energy. That's what it feels like to me. I could totally be wrong, but that's what it feels like to me. I'm going to let it go and we're going to move on. Anyway, Marcia asked Tony his lineup. Y'all, Tony is a hoe. I'm sorry, Tony. It's what I felt about you as soon as you brought up prayer. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. It's in the eyes. It is, Niecy. It's in the eyes. It's definitely up in there. Marcia and Tony. Tony is here to play. Tony is here to play. And I keep telling y'all that, okay? I don't know why Marcia thinks, that he was supposed. I like the fact that he didn't lie to her. Like when she asked what his lineup was, he said it was her and Morgan. And she felt a way about him mentioning Morgan. But then when he had that double date with Jonique, then all of a sudden Jonique has pushed both people out of the way, honey. And so I was just kind of feeling like, yeah. Yeah, I can't trust Tony. Tony giving hoe. Yeah, when he started, I told y'all, because when y'all start praying, then you giving shiny suit wearing nigga. It's giving, I'm using everything as a manipulation. I'm using spirituality as a manipulation. I'm using my looks as a manipulation. I'm using my sexuality as a manipulation. Because I'm telling you that I'm more into you than I really am. I'm acting like our connection is one of a kind, when really I'm having this same interaction with all of the women. That's the vibe that Tony's giving me. My husband is ex-military. He says all the time how the military will drill the love and softness out of you. He said they groomed them to be detached. And I'm sure they do, because it makes them make more analytical decisions versus decisions of heart that can get you hurt. So I do understand that to some degree. But ultimately I feel like it's to make people brainless and mindless and just follow. Because if you listen, to be detached is also to ignore intuition. To ignore intuition and heart is to be a mindless soldier. And that's essentially what you are, being made to be. It's sad, but it's what it is. And so in that, I think it's hard for people to go back to a way of life where they have to interact with other people and show softness and emotion, because that part of themselves has been pushed so far away that they don't really know how to access it, but they know how to come off a certain way. He looks like the cartoon character. He look like Arthur. Oh my God. Tony is unhinged. Is an unhinged hoe. Oh my God, not an unhinged hoe. I like Jonique and her honesty. I do too. I like Jonique. I really do. I think she comes off very direct and blunt and curt. And I think some people are perceiving it as, oh, she's just a ghetto girl, but she's actually very smart. And I think that she has good intuition as well. I think that the way she comes off will probably sometimes does her justice and kind of doesn't. Because it'll fend off people like Blake and Mark Anthony, those are men who are hiding how narcissistic they are. And when I say that, they have to find a way to make the woman feel bad to make themselves feel better because they're deeply insecure about something. I ain't got time to figure out why. But that's what I notice about a lot of these men that have like a superiority complex in their interactions with women, is that they feel inadequate in some way. And so they have to make the woman smaller so that they can make themselves feel bigger. Jonique is able to pick that out immediately because they come at her like that automatically because of the way she speaks and the way she expresses herself. The way her aesthetic gives ghetto girl. So because of that, they don't know how to really pay attention to her because they just view her one way. But if they actually would listen to her, she's really, really smart. And, like I said, astute. So like I said, it's doing her a service where she's able to pick up on these stale, fake ass energy. Like Suanne has blinders, can't see it. Jonique can see it though. But if you see the two of them together, you'll think that, Suanne is the more intelligent, for some reason. But really, Jonique is. But because of the way she, comes off, you're going to miss that. And a lot of the men are missing that. But Tony was giving her energy, but I think it's because Tony is like a player. And a lot of players, like I hate that they're players because essentially they're the type of men that you want to like come after you because they're not scared of other men. They don't care about other men. They're gonna if another man come at them, they're gonna go at the other man. They're gonna apply more pressure. Like they're not going to punk out. You know what I'm saying? So you like that, but those types of men are also kind of whores and they do that all over the place. You know what I'm saying? They just like the conquest. They like to win. And that's good to some degree because nowadays men don't even want to compete for women. They just, they feel like the women are supposed to compete for them. They want to save face constantly. And that's unattractive to women. Like nobody, you want to call yourself an alpha male, but essentially as soon as you might possibly get your fucking feelings hurt, you're bitching up but you want to act like you're an alpha male. Like, okay, child, and I don't even like that term. Y'all know I don't like that term. That was based on some damn animals in captivity, and y'all are comparing yourselves to animals as if y'all don't have thumbs and brains and shit and languages and stuff like that. But I'm gonna leave y'all alone about it. I digress. Lyndon is now vying for Morgan's affections. Tommy wants to bring back Andre. Y'all, Andre and his curl are coming back. I'm happy for him. Jeffrey says that she thought about him the whole time. I say, Jeffrey, you're starting to confuse me, sweetheart. When did you start liking Andre? When did that happen? But you know what? I'm not going to blame her because Ready to Love doesn't show people shit all the time, okay? But she's excited, but she's still nervous because she's been putting more of her energy into Mark Anthony and Blue. I like Blue. Even though I feel like Blue... y'all, I'm sorry. Like I have had bad interactions with light complected men. And I'm sorry, there's no disrespect to all light complected men. I'm sure you're all not August Alsina. Okay, but a lot of like light complected men, like they just do the most. And even if they don't do the most, because Blue is giving real laid back, calm type vibes, and I like that. But sometimes when I catch Blue looking, I can see it's in there. And he's probably just really good at containing it. But it's in there. And what I mean by it's in there is like crazy light-skinned nigga tendencies. It's in there. Like I saw it in his eyes at one point, okay? But, and I'm sorry. I know I don't want to upset anybody, but I'm just telling y'all my interactions is based off my life, not nobody else's, in my opinion. Like, but think about it. August Alsina is like the perfect example. First of all, he's a New Orleans nigga, so that's like the perfect example. Light skin, you think you're pretty, you're attractive, you probably know how to throw your thing around, you're an asshole, you talk to people crazy when you feel like it, like you have no respect for other people, and then you kind of adopt a superiority complex and a connection to spirituality that tries to make it seem as if you're better than people, so then you gaslight them. Like it's a whole, like I know I said a lot, but a lot of y'all probably caught all of that and know exactly what I mean when I say it. Blue gives Paw vibes. I actually think he's a laid back person, but he probably do have it in him. Yeah, I like him though. Nah, you on to something, Bondi. Okay, fuck with me. Thank you. I'm right there on with the light skinned dudes, Louisiana native as well. Like I don't know what it is. Okay. Ooh, okay. So yes. But Andre's coming back. Then he says he felt a way about Mercedes not checking on him. And, Mercedes was like, keep it a buck, kind of out of sight, out of mind. She really wasn't paying him no mind because he wasn't there. He said that she wasn't in tune with her emotions. And it was almost as if he was saying that it was a character flaw that she did not check up on him because he had COVID. And I just kind of feel like, well, that's a huge assumption. Maybe she wasn't really feeling you like that, but you were a munch. Like, like you thought I was feeling you? Nigga, a munch. Like maybe she wasn't feeling you as much as you thought that she was feeling you, which is why she didn't reach out to you when you were sick. I kind of feel like, to call her out about that. And I did see that they're casting in New Orleans. I did. I told my friend she should sign up, but she said it's not her type of show. And I was just like, girl, you should sign up anyway. Who cares? Just an experience, bitch. Go on there. Sometimes the calmness is the crazy. Right? Yes, exactly. So, what was I saying? Mercedes wasn't checking up on him. Yeah, I don't know if that's a character flaw of Mercedes. Like, and I just didn't like the way he called her out about it in front of everybody. I don't know. It was something about it just was kind of like entitlement. Like, that girl don't have to check in on you. Like, y'all not going together yet. Y'all cool, and that would have been nice, but you don't get to like assess that that's a character flaw of hers because she didn't check in on you when you had COVID. I don't know. Was it just me? Y'all let me know how y'all felt about that. Marcia says that Anthony is different outside the process than he is in it. And he seems to be having a hard time, dating the women inside this process. They're never really clear about what that means. So I don't know. That's just what they said, girl. I'm just here to relay. Andre says he feels that Sue-Ann seems to have a superior air to herself. And when he said that, I was like, aha. This is when the body language between Sue-Ann and Blake started to make more sense. They're now a couple. Why are y'all still on the show if y'all have decided to be together? Why are you here? You know what I'm saying? Either way, but it was something I noticed. Jonique says the same thing about Blake. She's not interested in Blake. She has nothing to say about Blake. He had that same superiority complex type of shit with her. Morgan says that she felt Blake was mean to her, and she has to also take into account what Jeffrey said about him. And Blake says that the conversation that Jeffrey says that they had never happened. I don't believe him. I like the way Lyndon said that he loves Blake, but he believed Jeffrey's side of things. I'm gonna tell you how I knew that Jeffrey was telling the truth, because Jeffrey's voice went from up here to like down here. Like, just get away from me with this. I just don't know. Whatever you want to say, I just cannot. Like, it went into the deeper register. Because, you know, she's always like up here. But it went down into the deeper register during this whole little back and forth. I believe Jeffrey. I'm going to just tell y'all, I believe Jeffrey. I do. Because I believe, like, what she said about Blake. I think that Blake's interactions and the things that have come out of his mouth in his interactions with Suanne have absolutely, I think, made Jeffrey's claims seem as if they're true. Like, you did kind of say that you, as soon as you and Suanne had y'all interaction, now she's your girlfriend, y'all go together. When you initially liked Jeffrey and had your connection with her, I think you were trying to do the same thing with her. And Jeffrey was like, no, I'm not ready. It's the beginning of the process. No, I do not want to act as if we are going steady when we're just fucking around at this point. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense to me. Blake said that the conversation never happened. They just don't align. Jeffrey says, bless his heart. Okay. And this was her trying to keep it cute as far as I'm concerned. He's controlling and he misses the mark when it comes to authenticity. And he's materialistic. She was right. Jeffrey would also like for Suanne to stop interfering with her interactions with the men. And Suanne says, you know, listen, Jeffrey lives in a totally different universe than the rest of us, okay? Because we don't even have the same connections. I'm like, girl, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? Y'all don't have the same connections. Y'all may not at this juncture, but originally you absolutely had an issue with what she said about what Blake said to her. That was about how he felt about her. Y'all did have a similar connection. It was Blake at the time. Remember, bitch? Why are we forgetting? I hate when people start in the middle, start at the beginning. Okay? And at the beginning, he was more interested in Jeffrey than he was in you. First of all. Second of all, you absolutely did hop in when she was talking about DeMario last week. When she was talking about what happened with DeMario, you had to hop in and say, but you did say that. Yeah, ma'am. That was at the beginning, before we had the interaction where he questioned my mothering skills. I'm sorry. I am totally here for Jeffrey's feelings towards Advocate Sue. I'm sorry. I'm here right with Jeffrey with this one as well. I'm sorry. Okay. Like, I wish I felt differently, but in this moment, I'm feeling like Jeffrey is on point. And Suanne's body language towards Blake being turned into him and all of that. And can you stop mentioning me? Girl, nobody was talking about you. I asked for you to keep your head out of my shit. And you're now acting like I'm talking about you. Stop bringing my name up. I'm at the adults table. Stop bringing my name up. See what we're talking about? Superiority complex. We're at the adults table. Ma'am, everybody here is an adult. What's happening? What's happening? I don't understand. Starting in the middle is easier for people. Isn't it though? Advocate Sue was and is annoying. Susu isn't that smart. Maybe book smart, but that's about it. For real. Because I feel like you don't even realize you fucking yourself into a relationship with this weird ass dude that's going to be controlling you and playing mind games with you and having you, you know, because I don't know about y'all, but I feel like at a young age, I understood what it was like to be in relationships with people where they would starve you of affection, love bomb you, take it away. Love bomb you, take it away. Like in middle school, I understood. I don't know how the boys had already figured out how to do this to the young girls when we was in middle school, but I like you, I like you, I like you. I don't like you. I'm mean to you. I front you out. I like you, I like you, I like you, I like you, I like you. I'm sweet to you. I don't like you. I front you out. Then all of a sudden, you start to have like a dependency on the little bit of niceness because the rejection hurts so much. So you just want the little bit of niceness. Like, please just be sweet to me for a second. Okay? Like, then you start to feel like that. So personally, I feel like I've been through that like a number of times, like as a young woman, like growing up and shit in middle school, high school. You know what I'm saying? So when I see certain things in the way these women are interacting with the men, it seems like that's the path. You know what I'm saying? So Suan absolutely feels like she is on this path where she's gonna start to try to be everything that Blake wants her to be. She wants to be the anti-Jeffrey. She doesn't want to cause any problems. She wants to be the perfect woman for him. But eventually she'll realize it's not going to be enough. You're going to get zunked the energy. He's going to keep pulling and pulling and pulling from you. Okay? He'll make it look pretty for your friends and all of that. But on the inside, you will feel like you're being starved. I'm just saying. I could be wrong. But it's what it feels like. Okay, make sure y'all like the video. We're moving on. Where is my... There we go. Okay. Let's get that out of there. Okay, let's get into Love and Marriage DC, girl. Y'all like the video? I need more likes. And share the video. Share the video. Tell them we're on. Tell them we're on here, girl. Women, we have a tendency to cling to dirt bags, but sideswipe a good man because we crave toxicity on some level. You know, Javon, I feel like on some level that might be true, but I also feel like on another level, not so much. Not so much. Because what good man? What good man are the girls swiping on? Show them to me. I just feel like, it's a case by case basis. You know what I'm saying? It's a case by case basis. And I also feel like at the end of the day, I don't know if it's toxicity that we crave, but I think that when women go to therapy and figure out what it really is that you need and you crave in your relationships and what you want in your relationships, and figure out how to get that for yourself and have self-respect and choose, people that love you like you love them. Like that's the goal, to choose people who love you as much as you love them. Okay? But essentially, I feel like we do a lot of blaming ourselves for the dating pool, which is not fair. And I also feel like you can't expect people to be attracted to what is foreign to them. If it's foreign for women to be doted on and treated nicely, how are they going to be attracted to something that they've never experienced? They don't see. And I also feel like, as much as everybody, we've been groomed to like thugs. I don't even know about that. I don't feel like I was groomed to like thugs. I don't. And I'm going to tell you why I feel like that. Because I grew up watching dudes get killed in the 90s. Like I grew up watching my cousins and my sister's boyfriends get murdered. Die from, drug overdoses, all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? From being dope boys. And I saw what it was like in New Orleans for the girls' cars to get shot up and then get killed because their boyfriends was drug dealers. So I don't feel like that's really the era that I come from. So when people be talking about that, I'm like, yeah, maybe like you 40, 50 somethings, like all of y'all who were like in y'all 20s and 30s and like the 90s and the early 2000s when we were still in high school. Yeah, maybe y'all. But like my generation and a lot of the people that I'm around, the toxicity that they crave has nothing to do with the hood. It more so has to do with whatever is not boring. Like for real. Like people feel like everyday life, mundane, everyday happy life is boring. So the toxicity they crave really is the fact that they're bored. And so they go and upset their shit because they're bored instead of finding other ways to live out and have excitement. Like you need to find healthy ways to find excitement in your life. And because we don't live in a space where people, actually think outside of the box they live in, they find excitement in toxic things like sex and drugs and cheating and partying or whatever, and I'm like everybody else. A bitch loves a good party and a good drink. Okay. Thank you, DeQuasia, for the super chat. I appreciate you, love. Oh, come on, talk about attachment styles. As a psychologist, I can say our attachment styles play such a pivotal role in how we relate in our relationships. Blake is a taker and lacks emotional maturity, and Suanne feels she can heal him. Yes, Veronica, you better show up. I'm actually like I really want to go back to school and get my degree in psychology, or at least get like a counseling certification, because I feel like that's where my content is going at this point. Like the more I learn from my own therapy, and the more I learn about myself, the more I look at this content differently, and the more I feel like we can have conversations that are actually of value versus just talking about this shit from a scene to scene basis. Nah, like let's talk about these, underlying themes that seem to run rampant amongst our demographic. You know what I'm saying? I definitely wasn't groomed to like thugs. I'm 51 and we weren't. A lot of young women didn't have a lot of things, and those guys provided what they weren't given at home. That's another thing. You know what I'm saying? Being provided for. And a lot of women, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't about him doing, being a thug. It was about being provided safety and access. And drug dealers a lot of times provided safety because those men were feared, so women felt protected. I know a lot of girls who like drug dealers because they niggas would do anything for them. They get disrespected or something happen and they do go pull up and put fear in a nigga heart on their behalf. Makes them feel powerful. You know what I'm saying? Because they have some man that will be reckless on their behalf, makes them feel loved. And that's a toxic type of love in some respect. It comes from a good thing. Like you want to feel protected. That's the good part. Wanting to feel like your person is protecting you. But at some point, when you're doing it because it excites you, then you put yourself in stupid situations to get that feeling. I think some women want a love story, and changing the ways of a toxic man is that story, yeah. It may not make sense, but why do so many women stay with a man that treat them so awful? Whew, so many layers to that. Oh, thank you. Attachment styles do matter, and knowing helps. I'm a fearful avoidant. Oh, I'm gonna tell y'all about mine. It's because I have a book about it and everything. What was it? The Polysecure. Polysecure talks about different attachment styles. I'm still reading the book. Please do it. I encourage you. We need you in this space. I can definitely help you in getting in the door. Thank you. I appreciate that, Veronica. Because I really just need to know, like, where do I start? I'm probably just gonna go over there to UNO and be like, okay, so what are my options? Like, what can I do? We gotta get Bondi to review it. To review what? What are we talking about? The book? What? To review what? But I'm about to get to Love and Marriage DC. But y'all know we be having conversations and shit. So, flow with me now. Because listen, at the end of the day, y'all know that we about to talk about some of these relationships on this show that are problematic. Okay? So y'all, Joy and Clifton. We talked last episode about the fact that I feel like Clifton is, I think wanting more so this relationship. All the Queen's Men. Oh, yes. Okay, y'all, All the Queen's Men is just so crazy. It's one of them shows I really just like to watch, but I might do a little something for my members. I might. I love these conversations too. So yeah, Joy and Clifton. I feel like Clifton is really more so about the show of this relationship, the performance of this relationship. Like, is it just me? Because I feel like a lot of the things that it seems are important to him aren't necessarily important to Joy. It seems like almost as if it's things that Joy doesn't even want to do. But she's still doing it anyway. I don't know, girl. I don't know. Okay, so Joy and Clifton talk about being grounded before having a baby. They just got this really nice house on a lake, and he's already like marriage and then a baby. And I'm like, how old is Joy, first of all? And I'm not saying that she's too old to have a baby, but I'm just saying, are we really acting like that's something that she really wants at this point? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, it really does feel as if their value systems do not match. Thank you, Veronica. Okay. Yes, it seems as if they want different things. I don't know what is happening, but I feel like they both got, like, I think she got swept up in being the woman that feels like she'll finally get the man. And he got swept up in this relationship can make me famous. This relationship can bring in more money, more opportunity, more access, more shiny clothes. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Quick is cooking breakfast, trying to get on Ashley's good side after he didn't tell her about Alicia being in a car accident. They also discuss Ashley understanding how Lil Jamie is feeling about the suicidal ideations because it's something that she went through. And they really want to have a conversation with Jamie about it because they feel like he's really not understanding like the situation. Like a lot of us feel. Joy is 4142. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. But Ashley started to cry about how she hasn't really been sleeping and she hasn't really been able to enjoy the release of her book either. And I'm just kind of like, is Ashley in full blown? Like, Ashley, are you in therapy? Because there's a part of me that feels like as much as Ashley is about self-help and, mental health and all of these things, she, I think, may feel as if there was nothing else for her to gain, but I feel like she still has more work to do. Because this moment left me feeling like there's still something happening here. Like, I don't know. Ooh, I hate it. Something's happening. Like, she's crying and they're telling us, oh, I haven't been getting any sleep, the book release, but something else is going on here with Ashley. And I feel like we're not talking about it. I don't know if it's just me, but it's something I'm picking up off when I'm watching it. I don't know. So Arena and Joy meet up. Arena is messy and be trying to act like she's not messy. They discuss Sherelle and Black and how Joy has both of them blocked. Arena basically tells Sherelle everything. Joy basically tells Arena that Sherelle was the other woman when Black and her were all in this group together. Black was dating her friend and he was cheating on her friend with Sherelle. And it was also some funny style business with the group. And, something about him blaming her for the group, saying that she's the reason why they broke up. So it's just a lot of different things going on with that. Arena says, that's old. That's like 10 years old. You don't think you can get past it and be cordial. And, obviously Joy doesn't feel as if she can be cordial about the situation. I thought I was going to like Joy, but now I'm seeing I'm not going to like Joy because in a preview, I see her having to sit down with Sherelle and acting as if she didn't tell Arena in this very scene that Black was moving shady with the business. That's what Sherelle is going to get upset about. And then you're going to turn around and say that that's not what you said, but that is what you said. Even though Arena was being messy, this is a reality show. People are going to bring back the shit that you say. If you don't like it, don't say shit to them. But if you say it to somebody on camera, it's going to make it back to the other person and they're going to have a moment on camera. That's how this shit work, okay? So I'm not even about to be mad at Arena for being messy. At the end of the day, Sherelle came like a wrecking ball, and I think that everybody is low-key scared. I'ma just tell y'all. I think Joy has the energy like she bowed it, but essentially when Sherelle came and asked you what was up, you told her that Arena lied on you, and Arena did not lie on you. Arena may be delusional, baby, but this was one of the moments when she absolutely got the context of the situation very clear. And you said that man had shady business dealings and he was cheating on your friend and you don't fuck with him and you don't fuck with nobody that is connected to him, including Sherelle. And when Sherelle came to you with it, now all of a sudden it's not what you said. Okay. Anyway, so the Silvas and the Tylers meet up to discuss what was said about Lil Jamie hurting himself. And the Silvas, bring it up, but Quick was the one that basically initiated the conversation. And Jamie was surprised. He was expecting Ashley or Arena to bring it up. But it really caught him off guard that it was Quick. And it always bothers me whenever men assign being like on the right side of something to women as if that means, it's less valuable. So if the women felt like you needed to be talked to about the way you talk to Lil Jamie, then you can dismiss it. But because Quick said it, You looking at him like you a man. You not supposed to check me. You not supposed to tell me I was wrong. You supposed to go along with my bullshit because you a man like I am. I don't know why men have this like understanding amongst themselves to just lie. Like I don't know why y'all do this. Is exhausting. Like this must be exhausting to y'all all the time to have to walk on eggshells around other niggas because there's a underlying expectation that we're gonna lie about something. Like, I don't know. Like, I just was looking at Jamie, like, why do you always tell on yourself? Like, that is so misogynistic for you to feel like, oh, I thought the women were going to say something, but Quick said something and I really got upset. Like, because you thought he was just going to go along with your bullshit because you can't dismiss it when he said it, but you can dismiss it when the women say it. Oh, my God. Ashley's personality is of someone who wants to help others as a way to distract herself from her pain because it runs deep. It's often easier to see others outside ourselves as more fixable than ourselves. Yeah, that's true. I can see that. I feel like her mother made her have to address her pain. Oh yeah, for sure. And she still needs to be addressing it because I think as much as we don't. So I feel like my dad was like, the angry parent. And I can see myself turning into him sometimes, not in a way of being angry, but in a way of withdrawing energy in order not to engage. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and it's not on purpose, but it's the same energy. And I didn't like sometimes when my dad would have that cut off energy. I could feel it. And now sometimes I do that. It's a self-protection tool. I didn't realize it at the time, but now I do it naturally and I can almost see myself doing it. And I don't always like when I do it. I mean, I know it's a protection thing, but I don't always like that I block myself off the way he would. And I'm, in therapy so that I can, try not to become like that. But I think it's the same thing with Ashley. Like, in a way, she is becoming like her mother, even though she doesn't want to be. Not completely, but in this way of, if I'm mad about something, I'm going to be mean and I don't give a fuck about how you feel about it. I don't care that I'm hurting your feelings. I don't care that I might be wrong. I'm only going to see it from my point of view and I'm not going to ever try to put myself in your shoes. Because the situation with Winter, to me, when I look at the way Ashley handled the situation with Winter, she reminds me of her mother. Now that we've seen her mother interact with her and have that self-righteous indignation, like, I don't care what you said, I'm right, you wrong, I'm the mind, like that's the attitude that Ashley had with Winter. And I feel like, she absolutely turns into her mother whenever she is on defense. And you need to do work on that. Because if it's like me, like I'm saying how I am in the same way with my father, I don't like when I see myself in that way. That's what she did with Quick, wanted to help him. But after seeing her mom, we know she needed the help. Exactly. Like when she talked about raising him, I was like, how could she have raised him when she's the one that needed to be raised? And he's still doing that to her, still relying on her in a heavy way, even with the raising of their children. And I think that Quick has these moments where he is scared to lose Ashley because he realizes like how lucky he is to have her. So he'll hurry up and fix it. But it's sometimes like when he was cooking breakfast for her, but sometimes it feels disingenuous. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't feel like he genuinely feels that way, just that he doesn't want her to be angry or leave him, And so then he'll keep making the same mistakes because his mindset is not really different. He just knows he has to fix it once he's fucked it up. But anyway, back to the Tylers. So Quick says Jamie went in when he called Lil Jamie a bum. And this is when I got pissed off with Arena. Arena said she didn't remember him saying that. I said, Arena, he has said that on several occasions just in this one season. How can you say that you ain't never heard him say that about your son? I was like, girl, what? Yes, it's an I owe you. Yes, that's what it is with Quick and Ashley. Absolutely. But I was just looking at Arena like, Arena, you are a part of the problem. And this is what I guessed. I guessed that Arena lies on Jamie's behalf. This can sometimes come off as a form of violence to the children, when you lie on your husband's behalf, even though you know he's harmed your kid. Like, it's a form of violence. And to me, it feels that way. Other people may not want to categorize it that way, but he called that boy a bum several times. And Arena sat there and said, oh, I never heard that. Because, I would have a problem if you was talking about my son like that. And I was just like, girl, it was on camera. How you gonna lie like that? And that made me think about whatever the fuck happens when the cameras aren't around. What you lie about on his behalf when the cameras aren't around. Arena, your son is probably angry with you too. As much as you think you're the parent that he can talk to, do you know how upsetting it must be for him to have moments where everybody in the room heard what the fuck Jamie said and you sit next to him and say, no, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. I would be mad at her ass too. Okay? So that's why I said I feel like it feels like they know they harm the kids or they harm, little Jamie in some way. And I'm not saying that they like abusing, beating on the kid. I'm just saying that you did them wrong in some way. And so you try to make up for it with the money shit. Like lying and saying that your husband didn't call your son a bum. That's so hurtful because he feels a way about it. And then you say in front of people that you didn't hear him say it. Y'all, I don't care what nobody say. That is so violent. And I know she does it out of fear. I already know she is going to, women like her automatically know what they're saying has to protect the man at all times. Don't ever say anything that makes the man look bad. Don't ever throw the man under the bus. You always have to protect him no matter what. Even if it means calling your children liars. And it's because you're probably scared because you don't want to have to get you don't want to have to get the brunt of whatever the reaction is going to be, because we know how these men will be. They'll act real quiet in front of everybody. And as soon as they're alone in the room, he's screaming and hollering at you because you didn't protect him. You didn't defend him. You threw him under the bus. You said this in front of those people and that made me look a certain way. So now I'm screaming and hollering all in your fucking face. Verbally abusing you, emotionally abusing you in this moment because you had the audacity to be honest in front of people. That is the dynamic that I am seeing in their family. I know it very well. Okay? Jamie says he don't remember calling his son a bum, but then says that he shouldn't have used those words. And I was just kind of like, which one is it? Y'all can't say y'all don't remember something and then apologize for it in the same breath. Come on. That's why I said delusional. That's why I said that Arena is so delusional, because she is so used she's so used to lying at this point that you cannot trust how she looks at things. And I hate to tell y'all this, and I hate to bring this up because I know some of y'all gonna get mad. But do y'all remember what I was telling y'all when the whole thing went down with Megan Thee Stallion and Kelsey, and that phone call between Kelsey and Tori came out? And I told y'all that it was given, I couldn't trust you, bitch, because you move in funny style. You moving like you're going to put this man before me, even though I'm your friend. So I can't trust you because you moving funny. Arena is another example of somebody where at some point, probably all her female friends will look at her and be like, they can only handle her a certain amount. Can't trust you, bitch, because we know you gonna lie as soon as that nigga come around. You know what I'm saying? You'll throw everybody under the bus out of fear of whatever Jamie's reaction is gonna be. You got to know over the years, she done threw a lot of people under the bus to protect Jamie, including the kids, families, friends, all of that shit, to the point where she's isolated and all she probably really has is him and people who like to be around her because of her image and how she projects herself. That's why she cares so much about how y'all think about her. All of them, they care so much about how people see them, but they don't see themselves. And it's the weirdest thing. They get on reality TV shows, like the Tylers have gotten on this reality TV platform, and every week they are online arguing with somebody because of the way they are being seen on TV. And it's because they cannot see themselves. Because if you can see yourself, then you would have known that there's no way you were going to be able to get in front of cameras on fucking own, and we weren't going to call this shit out. We were going to always call it out. Nobody's making anything up. Nobody's too invested. We're watching, we're reviewing, we're recapping, we're talking about what we saw, we're giving an opinion on it, but you're giving us the content. Family, y'all are giving us the content. Stop bullshitting with yourself. And that's what y'all do. Y'all get on these shows, y'all bullshit with yourselves, and then as soon as people tell y'all that no, you're bullshitting with yourself, you get mad at everybody and act like they tripping. Yeah, you know he didn't call Lil Jamie worse off camera. You a bum. You don't have shit. And remember, I said he was beating that boy. He was beating him over the head with it. And somebody was like, well, I didn't perceive it that way. How do you not perceive it that way? Okay. And quick, let me check quick. First of all, Ashley says that, she explains how she, had those thoughts when she was younger. And she tried to, unalive herself in her 30s and was in the hospital for 7 days because of it. And if she had gotten help in her 20s, maybe that wouldn't have happened in her 30s. Okay? So this is the information that she's giving them. I appreciated Ashley in this scene, in this moment. I don't give a fuck how the Tylers felt about it. That lady was coming from the standpoint, I've been through this. Please don't ignore this. This is painful. I feel the pain of this on a daily basis, how my mom has made me feel about myself. I now have to combat how she's made me feel about myself in my everyday life. Do not do this to your kid. This is what, I already know what Ashley is saying when she's talking, okay? So I appreciated Ashley in this moment, okay? Quick says, I couldn't imagine talking to my son the way you did. I said, Quick. And this is why I had to give it to Jamie. Jamie in this moment is staying calm, but I'm sure he wants to strangle Quick because he wants to strangle Quick because Quick is basically comparing, saying that, see the way you did your son like that, I would never do my son like that. And even though it's real, it's not really real. Because first of all, you was just telling your wife not to help your 14-year-old son get up in the morning because he needed to be a man. You was just talking bad about you. You know what I'm saying? You was just doing the most, comparing your teenage son to this adult man. You know what I'm saying? You were just doing the same thing that Jamie was doing on that first or second episode. He was talking that same shit that Jamie be talking. Okay? So that's one reason why I was looking at Quick oh, now you're Mr. Sensitivity? Get the fuck out of here, Quick. That was fake as fuck. Then you're comparing. So you're telling Jamie that you're a better father than him. And Jamie had to let him know, dude, you're raising a 14-year-old. My son is 26 years old. We're not in the same, we're not in the same arena right now, sir. When you have a child that is my child's age or older, we can have a conversation, but you have not yet gotten to this point, so you can't talk to me about it. That's how he felt. Now, I don't feel like that's true. I feel like anybody that's a parent and can see that somebody is hurting their kid, I don't care. If you put it out there and you do it in front of people and people have an opinion, that's just what it is. It's called community for a reason. If you don't want somebody to know some shit, then you shouldn't be on a reality show doing it in front of cameras and shit. Okay? And then Jamie goes on to say how Lil Jamie is a man who's gotten arrested and he just got arrested. And then when people say that you sabotage your son, when people say, all of the shit that they're going to say about your son, and you're going to get up here and act like we tripping, but you up here downing your son to everybody. Oh my God, he was out of bounds with that comment. But Quick likes to think he's better than Jamie. That has to be a very toxic household. Lil Jamie been going through this for a year, and now it's years and years of trauma. And another thing that I feel like, he's been saying this, he's been getting in trouble since he was a teenager. I'm like, do y'all not understand? Like, I know, like Ashley said, there is a group of y'all that really don't respect mental health. Y'all don't think it's a real thing. And I don't understand how you don't understand your mind. Mental health is about your mind, how you think, how you process. That is the biggest part of how you interact, work, and do everything in your fucking life. I don't understand how you cannot think it's not, real at this point. I don't even understand that mindset. You're choosing to be blind to the truth if that's how you feel about mental health. First of all, still at this age in 2023, I cannot. Okay? But the thing that kills me is the way he talks about it. Like, okay, so you don't understand that obviously Lil Jamie had that moment when he was a teen, because that's how this goes. Like, everybody goes through like these growing pains during their teenage years. And if their parents, if the kids are, can hold it together, and then the parents can do their best to hold the kids together, they usually get through it. And by the time they become an adult, they've learned from the mistakes they made as a teenager and all of those types of things. That's usually how these things go. Like, I may not have had to go to jail and get arrested, but I absolutely had a rough patch with my mom and my dad, but really my mom. And that was like the most hurtful part. Like, during my teenage years, I was growing up and trying to become separate from her in some way. That was hard for her to process. My dad had processed it earlier, because for him, as soon as your period started, he had to kind of detach in a way. So, he had detached, earlier. It was harder for her to detach. And then, dealing with the fact that I liked girls, she didn't understand that, you know what I'm saying? So she had a hard time with that. I had growing pains during those years. Of course, our relationship has its ebbs and flows, but we're in a much better place and have been since. But that's because that's what happens during that time frame. So when he says that, I'm like, do you not even understand the psychology of the way teenagers and young adults act and what happens? Like, it really makes me feel that you neglected him emotionally and mentally during those years, which is why now he's falling apart. You neglected him in some respect, and you think because you financially secured him that should have been enough. But I don't know how many times we got to keep telling you old ass black people, money is not enough. Money is not enough. Money is not enough. Money is not enough. I don't know how many, I don't know if I can, how many times we can tell this to all of you absentee fucking parents that think because y'all pay child support, you doing something. Money is not enough. Giving your kids everything they want is not enough. You have to spend time with them. You have to talk to them. You have to be dependable. You have to be dependable for them emotionally, mentally. And you have to pour into them how to deal with their own emotions. But that starts with you having to understand yours. And a lot of y'all don't understand y'all emotions. Y'all drink y'all emotions away. And then y'all go to y'all kids and expect y'all kids to handle their emotions better than you're handling yours. You're handling yours with fucking in alcohol. And then you go to your kids with their issues. And then you get mad at them because they don't know how to handle it. But you don't want them fucking and drinking yet. But you have no real course of action for how your kids are supposed to deal with the tornadoes that you've caused inside of them. Just deal with it. Yeah, you didn't mean to. Everybody's doing the best they can. But you know what's a part of doing the best you can? Is doing better when you realize that you've been fucking up in some respect. Doing better. Making accommodations for the way you weren't doing what you were supposed to be doing. That's a part of it. And a lot of y'all, I feel like, do not understand neglect because y'all think y'all fed these kids, y'all paid their bills like Ashley's mama. I was paying the bills. Bitch, you were not in the house. And there were people in the comments talking about, well, listen, there are a lot of y'all that come from a space of lack. There are a lot of y'all that didn't have parents around all the time, that didn't have food all the time, that didn't have y'all electricity on all the time. That is so unfortunate that anybody has to grow up in lack or having without. But that does not mean as an adult that you should go around expecting other people to be okay with that same lack. And that's the shit y'all be on. Oh, I didn't have to do this, or I got myself together. That's because your mama had to go to work. That's because you was a latchkey kid. That's because wasn't nobody there to watch you or wake your ass up in the morning. But when somebody got a mama that's laying in a bed and ain't got nowhere to be for the next couple of hours, it's okay for her to get up an hour and a half before her kid, get herself together, make sure her house is awake and up for her son. This is what y'all don't understand. You have got to teach these kids by what you do how to take care of themselves. So if your ass is sleeping till 10 a.m., 12 p.m., how do you expect the kids to get up early all of the time? Oh, y'all gotta go to school. So the fuck what? Kids don't like going to school? So what? If you're not teaching them to get up early in the morning just as a way of life, they're not going to want to get up early in the morning. They're going to dread it just like you do. What are you talking about? I can't. Child, where the hell is Quick during these mornings when Ashley has to get the kids up and get everybody ready for school and shit? Where is he? Probably somewhere asleep. And Ashley wants to sleep, but y'all want the son to be able to get himself up while the adults are asleep in the house. Right? Come on, man. Like, you got to lead by example, especially when they get into their teenage years, because they need to see you acting out how to live. So when they become an adult, they can do what you taught them in the household. That's how that goes. Okay? And listen, ain't nothing wrong. We had to do what we had to do. You know what I'm saying? I was lucky because my mom owned her own business. So I could just go to my mom's shop and just sit around her shop. And at one point, my grandparents was next door. So I can go and be next door by my grandparents while my mom was working in her shop. And then at one point, my dad retired early. So he would just come pick me up. So I just had a blessed setup, thank God. You know what I'm saying? But essentially, a lot of us that don't have those same allowances, you had to do what you had to do. But that does not mean that everybody needs to be moving from the same space of lack. Okay? Jamie, all the rest of y'all that want to, these spoiled 90s kids. Like, nigga, really? Fucking boomers. Anyway, y'all, Sherelle. This the last scene. I gotta get out of here. Okay. So Sherelle lost 100 plus pounds and now she's a personal trainer. She has the girls come to an outside workout that she's doing. Ashley and Alicia show up late, interrupt the class, parking in a parking lot. Then they go inside for the real workout. Winter shows up. She says, I didn't get the wig memo. I feel like they tried to act as if that was shade towards Ashley, but Ashley didn't have on a wig. She had a weave in, and there were a lot of women that were in costumes. So when she said, I didn't get the wig memo, I think she meant I didn't get the costume memo, but they were acting like that was shade towards Ashley, and it wasn't. Ashley's energy was negative as soon as Winter got there. Okay, so I'm just telling y'all off rip, for me, anytime you are that bothered by somebody else's presence, any negativity that's happening after that, I feel like is usually on you. If I just walked into the room and said, hey, and you rolling your eyes, you started this negative interaction as far as I'm concerned. So I just feel like Ashley's energy was stank with Winter off rip. And essentially, I think that Winter has said some things about Ashley and Quick. And Ashley and Quick have said some things about Winter and her ex-husband. So I don't know why y'all can't let bygones be bygones and move on. Like Ashley, the way she interacted with Winter when they were outside really annoyed me, because it was like you want to be a victim in a situation where you started the shit. And I feel like she was like, it doesn't matter. Yes, it does fucking matter. How you gonna tell Winter it doesn't matter that you started it if you want to talk about what she said that me and my husband aren't Christians? So what? This is America. You don't have to be a Christian. This place is literally built on the freedom of fucking religion. Nobody has to be a Christian. I'm sorry. I know black people, y'all gonna be real upset. But this is America. Nobody has to be Christian if they don't want to be. Who knew? But if you are a Christian, who fucking cares what Winter had to say about it? She said that shit several times. And I was just like, but Ashley, who cares what she said? Who cares? You said a whole bunch of shit about her first. You said a whole bunch of shit. You basically called that lady stupid in her face for getting scammed by her husband. Like women don't get scammed by their husbands. Shit. You was taking care of your husband. You got scammed in some way. Listen, any woman that is raising her husband as if he didn't have parents growing up, girl, you got scammed because you got a 2-for-1 and you wasn't supposed to be a 2-for-1. You wasn't supposed to be a mama and a wife. You were just supposed to be a wife. You were 2 for 1. You got scammed too. You just don't see it as that because that little man be in the kitchen cooking. Okay? It's okay. Wrist like a stir fry. I was just like, come on. Ashley and Arena are ignoring Winter when she first got there. Sharella is worried about Alicia because Alicia just got in that accident, but she showing the fuck showed up. Okay? Sharella hurt her arm. We missed it. Arena brings up Joy not being there because of black shady business practices. Sharelle said, I didn't have an issue with Joy before, but now I do since you didn't told me that. So, you know, to be continued. Winter comes over, says goodbye to everybody, and says she doesn't know her. And when she says she doesn't know Alicia, let me tell y'all what I think happened. First of all, I think they edited the fuck out of this interaction because the energy did not make sense. Winter is messy. She is. She is nice, nasty church lady for sure, okay? That's the energy she gives off. Hey, Winter girl, you know I love you. But she does give nice, nasty to people. She does, okay? But she's like, bye, I don't know her. You know what I'm saying? But it was something to me. I feel like that's not what happened. I feel like she went over and said goodbye, was talking to Sharelle. Alicia saying, I don't know her after saying goodbye. That didn't even make sense to me. So I feel like they chopped that scene up, first of all. What y'all saying? They will never like Winter because she got on the show as a walk-on fan favorite. Ashley will never drop that mean girl because the new girl is more popular. Child, Ashley said that mess to Winter on their first meeting. And then she gonna act like I didn't dislike you when we first met. It's like, yes, you did. You absolutely disrespected old girl from jump. They both annoy me. Yes, and I can understand. I could definitely understand why you would say that. Okay, I like Winter, but she does that church girl nice, nasty well. She does. Okay, she definitely can be annoying. She really can, especially in some of these back and forth scenes. But I honestly understand where she's coming from. Because if you really step back and look at it, Ashley and Quick started it. When Winter went in on them, everybody wanted to act like a fucking victim. And now we fast forward to after all of the back and forth on Twitter and Instagram and talking shit about each other in interviews. Now you want to act like somebody did something to you exclusively when y'all have been just going back and forth for a while now. Like, that's my problem with Ashley. Ashley is refusing to take into account the fact that you started this shit the way you came off to that lady from jump. And that's just the way Ashley is, which is why I don't understand why Ashley doesn't see it. Like, Ashley, I can understand because I'm abrasive as well. So sometimes if people take what I said the wrong way, I do not mind saying, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it that way. I know I can come off a little curt. My bad. I don't mind apologizing because I know how I come off and that's not my intention. And I feel like, Ashley, it is your intention because you never seem to want to apologize for the fact that you consistently come off like this to people. You did the same thing to Joy about her little single moms thing. Yeah, we may agree with you just like we agreed with you about Winter and how the hell you gonna be a dating coach and you didn't even check and see where this man lived at before you decided to marry him. Like, yes, we be thinking the same thing, but it's your delivery and the way you talk to people. Like, you don't have to make that lady feel dumb that hard. And honestly, I feel like the way you treat Winter definitely reminds me of the way your mom talked to you in that scene. I'm sorry. It's just even the way you look, the look in your eyes, everything. I feel like it definitely reminds me of the way your mom treated you, the way you talk to Winter in these scenes. Like, it's crazy to me. Let me see what y'all are saying. Ashley also is used to other women backing down from her. Winter won't do it. Her line last season was, I'm not your cup of tea. I'm a shot of whiskey. She likes that. She does. She likes to come off crass. Like, yeah, you like to come in people's necks. So stop acting fucking surprised when you get that energy back and acting like somebody did something to you out of nowhere. And that's what you're doing to Winter. I would rather act like a church lady rather than do what Ashley did, pointing out pointing all in Winter's face and stuff, that was overwhelming. Yes, I didn't like that either. I didn't like that she was all in her face either, doing this and doing that. That's because it's always like you big body bitches. Like, I'm sorry, but all of you big hipped, big booty bitches, especially if y'all got a little height on y'all like to like hip check bitches. Y'all like to do all of this, getting in people's faces because y'all know y'all bodies is weight. Y'all hold weight in y'all body, so y'all know y'all can move people with y'all bodies and shit. And that's how Ashley comes off to me. Somebody who knows that she can physically impose herself on people. She really did say that multiple times. She did. Like Quick said, it's not the message, it's the messenger. Ashley sees it. She just can't handle getting it back. And that's what I don't like. Like, if you gonna give it, you gonna need to learn how to take it, especially if you getting it from somebody that is not coming at you in the same way, but they not backing down. Yes, exactly like Donna. Ashley reminds me of the way Donna can be with that. And Robin. Robin from Real Housewives of Potomac does the same thing. That was Nene's favorite character. Yes. A lot of you big bitches love to physically impose y'all on people because y'all think that's supposed to make them back down from y'all. But there are a lot of us little bitches that have done this with y'all many a time. Just like y'all done got in fights with little bitches and y'all done intimidated them with this shit. A lot of little bitches done got in fights with big bitches and we do not care. Okay. Like, I'm just saying, like, I don't care. We will fight. Like, don't get in my face like that because I will mush you. Or throw water in your face to distract you before I hit you. Like, whatever's going to happen, bitch. But get out of as soon as she said, like, Winter, don't come over here. Don't come over here, Winter. Because Sherelle was trying to make them talk. Right? And Sherelle was trying to get Ashley to come outside and talk to Winter alone because she feels like whenever Ashley is around everybody else, she doesn't act the same. Okay? So even though she was trying to get her outside, Alicia was there the whole time. And I understand because, when you got a homegirl and it be some bullshit, you want to make sure you got your homegirl 6. But Winter was out there by herself. There was nobody else out there. So there was no reason for homegirl Alicia to be in the back with her hands on her hips, redistributing her weight like she was ready to fight. This is not high school. Y'all are like 30, 40-something-year-old women. Have a fucking conversation and move on. Okay? When Winter turned around and said, I don't need an audience, it seemed rude. But I'm like, y'all are slicing this scene up. And I hate the way y'all do that to people. If she turned around and said, I don't need an audience, it's because somebody else chimed into the conversation. And also probably because she felt physically like she was being ganged up on. Like, why are y'all big bitches surrounding me right now? Like, if I was her, I probably would have like started to look at everybody funny style because I'm talking to you and now 3 big bitches are all standing around me and I'm out here by myself. You know what I'm saying? So it very much, I feel like physically, even though they were arguing annoyingly so back and forth, both of them, the physicality of what I was seeing was Winter's there by herself and there are these other 3 girls who are bigger than her and like walking closer and closer, imposing themselves physically on her. Another thing that I don't like is everyone acts as if Winter is obsessed with them and she's coming at them for no reason. I don't like that. That's not true. But anyway, now Ashley and Arena are mad at Sherelle for trying to get them all to talk to Winter. And Sherelle was like, listen, I'm going to be inviting her to events. So if she's there, it is what it is. You can just feel however you're going to feel. And that's just that. Okay. And Ashley invites LJ over to hang out at her house, Lil Jamie. Ashley, because y'all know Ashley is a big sister, right? So Ashley invites Lil Jamie to come over to her house. And at first it was like they was chilling and shit. And then the parents and the grandmother shows up and Lil Jamie feels like it's a setup. But Ashley, is tired of them all fighting and is trying to have a come to Jesus moment because she want everybody to meet her new boyfriend. And she need them to be getting along in order for them to meet her new boyfriend. But yeah, y'all, it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. Winter hasn't even said anything fight worthy. Really, it hasn't been that. It really hasn't been that serious. She said we weren't Christians. Like, girl, shut up. Who cares, Ashley? If you are, it shouldn't matter. Alicia and Arena probably were saying something. They need to show the full scene. That's what I'm saying. I definitely feel like something was being cut out. I just can't respect women that gang up on one woman. It's weird and immature. It really is. Like, we grown. Like, it is one thing when we were younger. We not young no more. We in our 30s and our 40s, man. If you can't have a conversation, then bitch, we do not need to talk. I get how Ashley came to be a bully, but I get how Ashley came to be a bully, but she's a bully nevertheless. Right. Like, we got the bully origin story, but she's still a bully. Ashley started at Monique's event talking while the speakers were yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, she had been talking about talking about Winter from Jump. The sister is Brittany, not Ashley. What sister? Everybody on this show can benefit from therapy. Yes. About to watch from the beginning. I decided actually everything. All right, listen. I can't wait for you to see from the beginning. Yes, everybody on the show needs therapy. They gonna think they can keep doing that shit trying to punk Winter. I know, until she show up with some backup. Ashley look pretty but feel like she is in the mother role heavy. Her name is Brittany. Whose name is Brittany? Uh yes. Okay. Winter said, "You're the star, Ashley." She did. She did say that. That shit was funny. Uh, Lady Blue, your love emergency. I'm inspired to review love emergency. There are a lot of things you said, especially about Jamie seeing your dad relating how I felt about my childhood. Oh, that's what's up. I'm glad. Do your thing. Do your thing. Alicia addressed Winter first, and that's why her defense was, I don't know her. In my opinion, Alicia does way too much. It felt that way. Like, they edited it, but I could tell that, like, they were cutting it up to make Winter seem like she was just going at everybody. But it seemed as if she was responding. Winter said, no, I read that one. That shit was funny. I think they're saying LJ's sister name is Brittany. Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading my notes wrong. That's why. I put it in my notes wrong. I meant Brittany. My bad. Y'all know nigga be talking fast. I put it in my notes wrong, but I know her name is Brittany. I was confused. I was like, wait, who we talking about? I'm moving too fast. How was Arena mad about Sherelle making Winter and Ashley speak when she was trying to do the same thing with Joy and Sherelle? I was thinking the same thing. K and K sisters. I'm glad you said that. Um. Okay, yeah, I got y'all. We was talking about Brittany. Brittany is Arena's oldest daughter, not Ashley. I'm sorry, but y'all know Brittany and Ashley is the same damn name. The show has potential, but it's lacking in something. Child, who knows? I don't understand why Sherelle feels like she has to have beef with Joy just because she doesn't like her husband. Child, I need to understand why Joy feel like she needs to have beef with with Sherelle. I mean, because your friend used to, girl, listen, I feel like Joy is a part of that problem. Sherelle is abrasive too, but I feel like Joy is greatly a part of that problem. Like, you got a problem, you gonna act like you don't have a problem, but you really, really do. It's weird. All y'all are weird. But anyway, y'all, I gotta go because I gotta wake. So I'll talk to y'all later. I hope y'all liked the video. I hope y'all enjoyed. No, I am not reviewing Basketball Wives. I am Zwan Girl. I am over them. I am over them. Okay. But anyway, I hope you guys have a good rest of y'all day. I won't be back today, but I will be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow during the day. We're gonna do an MF and advice tomorrow. Okay. I hope everybody has a good rest of their day. I love you guys so much. And I'm gonna be out in these streets this weekend and this week. So if y'all see me, say hey. All right. Happy Mardi Gras, people. Bye bye.